Yeah, especially with the thing with Disney right now, it's like I'm not exactly on board with how they're like. I know there was one character that they introduced sometime last year, late last year.
Mhm.
Like, it's the highlight of that character is that she's obese. So like
Mhm.
the premise is like you can't be anything. You can't like everyone's making fun of her or she's incapable of doing anything because of her plus size. So it's
Mhm.
like the movie's making it out to be that it's okay to be. I mean, yeah, I mean you don't make fun of the person for sure, but like you really have to take the initiative to better your health, right? At least that's my opinion. It's like I know that can get me canceled, but I know
Yeah.
that's the thing that Disney's working on right now.
Yeah, I didn't they do like an animated short or something like that about like this girl that's like a little
Yeah,
ballerina
yeah,
that's sort of like
yeah.
overweight.
That's the one I'm referring to. That's the one I'm referring to.
Yeah, I believe what's it called again? Brandon, I think Brendan Fraser. He did something where it's like the movie's called Whale. I didn't watch it, but I heard it's pretty good. But it's like about a person who's like overweight. And look, I think being overweight is fine. The only part where it's not fine is if it's actually causing you health problems, where like it will lead to type 2 diabetes. It will cause like, high blood pressure, like high cholesterol, like all that things that ties into being overweight and unhealthy. If you can not get to that point where like, okay, I actually, I might actually lose my leg because of diabetes. Like my grandmother lost her leg, and then like due to type 2 diabetes, and then like she eventually passed away, which sucks. So it's just it's something that you need to make sure that like you don't you can overindulge from time to time, but don't make sure it's not a habit where it can actually affect your life, you know.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and read this. The new Super Nintendo World attraction at Universal Studio Hollywood slated to open February 17th, but the ride will be accessible to park goers only if their waistlines are 40 inches or less.
Inches or less.
Yeah, so that's it's you can easily reach 40 because like for me, like my waist is about a 31, right? So I'm
Oh,
about
my
31.
I'm around 32 or 33.
Yeah.
Actually.
So I'm a 31. The thing is that that's like a hat. That's like perfect pant size, right? If I don't adjust anything, I don't have to wear a belt. It's a 31. But like I can wear 30. I usually go up to 32 because 31 is like sort of a weird number, and not a lot of places carry. Mario Kart's Bowser's Challenge will allow riders experience Mario Kart like never before, transporting them into the game with cutting edge technology as they steer their way through multiple courses for a chance to win coveted Golden Cup, according to Universal Studio Hollywood's official website. Let's go. We got a chance to visit Super Nintendo World in Hollywood and saw some awesome things like Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, the Toadstool Cafe, and the One Up Factory gift shop. Okay. But safety recommendations for the ride indicate not everyone will be able to climb on board, according to the page 14 of the park's 2023 guide for rider safety and accessibility. This ride employs restraints which may restrict certain guests riding due to their body shape and size. The guide reads, adding that those with a waistline of 40 inches or more may not be accommodated for the ride. So the thing is, like, there are I've been on I went to a Universal Studios in Florida before, in Orlando, and I forgot. I think it's like the Hollywood Rip Rocket Coaster or whatever that one's called. I remember we went with our friend, and one of them, she's pretty overweight, like she's pretty big. And she
Okay.
sat on one of the test thing, the seat on the outside where you actually like there's a harness that goes over, and it wasn't
Yeah.
fully able to
To
close.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a safety concern to her and to everyone there. So the thing is that, and so she's like, I can't go on this ride, right? And like the thing is that she knows she's overweight, and she's like, I'm trying to lose weight and stuff like that. But the thing is that like she understands, but she didn't once complain. Like she didn't like, oh, I'm not going on that ride. That ride's like, you're being fat phobic, and you're making people feel bad. But you're in the US, and a lot of people here are just like not healthy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm at 38, but I'm losing weight. 38's not that big, right? 38's like, okay,
Yeah.
like you still probably got like the holiday weight on you, right? You can so some of that turkey weight still on.
Yeah.
Hey, a
And
gym
it
is a
also
gift from
depends
the
on
heaven.
your height. It also
Yeah,
because like
true.
the yeah, the best measurement I take is the BMI, the body mass index. If I'm not correctly, there's a calculator on it on Google. I don't know how to calculate, but all you need to input is your weight and your height, and it'll compute it for you. I think
Yeah.
that's actually it's actually really really strict. If you follow that, I'm actually overweight right now.
Yeah. It's like for instance, I remember I went on this chart back in the day when I wanted to gain weight because like I felt like I was very skinny, and I've always been relatively skinny my entire life. It's just it's hard for me to gain weight, and it's like it actually looks like I might be like unhealthy. Like I'm like, oh man, are you eating? Are you losing weight? Are you smoking? What's going on, right? but but that chart I saw, like for an average person in the US, that's 5'11", which is my height. Like, so I'm almost 6 foot, right? So like as a person who's around 5'11", you're supposed to be about 180. And I'm like 145. That's a mic, like, right? Like I'm 172 now. But like back in the day, I'm just like, oh man, that's impossible. I need to gain weight. I need to gain weight, you know. But I think that's the average people. And the thing is that I'm not sure where they got that average from.
I'm not sure if sorry. I'm not sure if I got disconnected or you did. I kind of lost that. I lost the part where you mentioned you were 5'11". Then after that is I got lost. I wasn't able to hear it.
Oh yeah, no. So I think it might have been your end.
Oh,
but
okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I
but
didn't hear what you said.
yeah. So there's this chart that says that like if you are 5'11", between 5'11" and 6 foot, you need to be at least 180 pounds. And I'm like,
yeah. It makes sense.
yeah, I'm like 145 when I saw that thing. I'm like, there's no way I'm be able to gain this much weight. It's impossible. And I think and the thing is that when I test that, I was like in my 20s. So like my metabolism was like crazy. I could eat anything and then instantly just like I do like I burp or I sneeze, I lose like 5 pounds. Right? It's just instantly like my pound just instantly just goes away. But now I'm going into my mid 30s, and I can see that okay, yeah, losing weight is a little harder now. Like my metabolism has slowed down a little bit, and so I have to watch what I eat. And majority of the time, I try cooking food at home. Right, I try cooking food at home because you know what you put into your food. So like if I were to go buy steak, I know what to put in my food, so I'm not putting excess stuff that it's not like processed. Or I'm doing I'm trying my best not to drink as much soda. And if I do, it's like really, really rare. It's because the high fructose corn syrup is like really bad for you. And it's literally like a crazy addiction, right? I remember they did this test where like you gave like person like sugar, and then all of a sudden you take it away, and it's like the high fructose corn syrup, like Coca-Cola or something like that. It's like they immediately is like, oh, I need it, and you sort of get these like sweats and stuff. Has ever happened to you?
Not well. It's actually thanks to my mom. She really watches over stuff like that. It's like if I'm too overweight, like we find a way right away. It's like I start eating less. I start doing physical exercise more, stuff like that. So yeah, when remember when I went to the US last year, I got so fat from there. Actually, I reached yeah. It was an all-time high. It's like I was at around 180 pounds, and I'm just 5'7". I'm just 5'7". Right now it's around 158 to 160. So I kind of lost it. I kind of lost 20 pounds when I got back. So it's like
it's all that In-N-Out you've been eating. It's all the In-N-Out.
Probably. Yeah, that too. And I noticed too that you guys have so much variety when it comes to soft drinks. Like a lot.
Yeah.
You guys have so much choices compared to us. Like us, it's just Coke, Sprite, Royal, and that's usually just about it. You guys have so many. When I go to the grocery, it's like wow, there's like they come in all colors too, different colors too.
So Alan Voss mentioned BMI index was designed for 8, so it doesn't translate to humans well.
It's incredibly exaggerated because like when I check like what's the bare minimum weight I should have, I think it translates to 130. It's like if I actually do that, I'm gonna look way too skinny. So yeah, it's valid. It's valid. Yeah.
Yeah, like for me, if like you're like 6 foot, like or like maybe like 6'2" or something like that, and you're like 150, you're way too skinny, right? And it's all really depends on how you are as a person, like your muscle structure, your bone density, and how that sort of just looks. And if like like you can have like a person. It's like, oh, is 150 pounds considered fat? Well, are you like how tall are you? Right. So that's where the BMI comes in, right? Like how tall
Yeah.
are you? And so like if you have like a bodybuilder who's like 6'2",
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, 225 pounds, but he's like completely
Exactly.
jacked, and you're like, oh, but that is that heavy?
Yeah.
It's like, it really, right? It
Yeah.
really depends on context.
That's the flaw of it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Robert Kerr is like, I began working out. I've been working out for about 8 months. I'm staying at the same weight because I'm putting so much muscle gain. Damn, yo, you gotta get jacked. He's literally not gonna lose any weight because all that fat's gonna convert into muscle.
The muscle.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to fit your clothes. Like, I'm starting to work out a little bit more, right? I'm doing more stuff just to sort of get myself into shape. Because it's not because like, oh, I feel like I'm getting overweight or anything like that. It's because when I'm holding my kid, I'm like, God damn, I'm so fucking weak. Like, I'm like, oh gosh, he's getting heavier. Oh my God, how heavy is he? My wife's like, he's 13 pounds. Oh my God, he's so fucking heavy. Right? So I just feel like I'm holding him and I'm getting sore way too fast. So I'm like, okay, that's why I feel like I need to like at least do some core like strength exercise. So like I have like dumbbells right over there. It's more, I'm not lifting heavy. I'm lifting like light, but I'm doing a crap ton of repetitions. So it's sort of just to like get yourself like
whichever fits for you, for sure.
Yeah, and I've been like drinking a bunch of like I've been taking creatine and drinking like protein shakes and stuff.
Yeah, just be careful when the more your intensity you're working out, your appetite also increases. So you need to watch your appetite too.
I've been getting hungry a lot faster. So like I'm trying to eat more, and I'm trying to eat more calories intake. And I also feel like I know that like you start shitting more too. Like your bowel movement sort of like kicks into gear when you start working out because when you're working out, you're working out, your body's telling your other parts of your body like, hey, you need to get all your shit out of your body, or you need to eat more or something like that. And I definitely felt the difference when I started working out, and like I started working out like in January, right? When I had my son, when we had our son in November, I'm just like, yeah, I felt fucking weak, right? But yeah, so Michael Jordan is his prime in his prime was over height on the BMI. Oh, you're talking about in the 90s? Oh wow, didn't know that. Yeah, muscle throws off BMI. Oh, okay, yeah. If you're doing a bodybuilder program, then yeah, you're gonna gain. I'm trying to switch more into lean program. Yeah, I think it really depends on what you do. Like for me, I just want everyone to be happy and healthy. If you feel healthy, you feel like this, and your health is not limiting you to what you want to do, I would say just continue doing it, right? And just like always just be sure that like you take care of yourself. Heart disease is like one of the one of the major causes of a lot of deaths here in the US. And the world is better with you in it. So hopefully you guys, everyone in the chat, take care of themselves. But yeah, I'm 6 feet tall and I used to be 150. Yeah, 150 is way too skinny, way too skinny in my opinion. But yeah, 6 feet, 150. Yeah, that I used to be like that. And it just feels like you look so like skinny and like you, and it's just like you don't once some of the stuff starts filling up, you're like, okay, if you have like at least a little bit fat in you, it is good, right? And the thing is that like a lot of the food pyramid shit here in the US, when it started, like it sort of messed with everything. Especially like when they're like the food pyramid used to be like the bottom is like all carbs. You need to eat all the carbs, and then you have vegetables and a fruit, and then you have meat and dairy, and then you have like the miscellaneous like sugars on top. But actually, you should eat more meat. Like I think I think you're are you cutting out a little bit, or
no,
this,
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I can hear you.
But yeah, so all passengers' restraint systems, including lap bars, shoulder harnesses, and seat belts, must be positioned and fastened properly to assure your safety. Guests who don't fit properly in a safety restraint won't be allowed to ride, according to the Rider Safety Tab Universal's website. So, have you ever been to Disneyland?
Yeah.
So, have you been on Space Mountain?
Most likely. I just don't remember, but most likely.
So like the mountain is like this like white looking mountain thing. It's like it's in Tomorrowland, and it's if you've been to the one in California, It's pretty cool. But the thing is that when you get on, the rocket comes in, right? The rocket comes in, you get on, and then it goes and you get in. Everyone goes in. You're freaking going like a military. You get in, you lock your shit in, you put all your stuff away, and then you sort of go, and then you stop halfway right before the ride starts. And during that time, you actually look at they call it, I forgot the tower. They call it the tower, space tower. When you look up, there's a guy who's actually like sort of looking at the chart, and they're actually weighing you. So if you are too heavy, if the rocket's too heavy, you go to the left. And they have to swap a person out. Is because there's a part if you go to when you start the ride, there's an incline, right? It goes right, it goes up. If it's too heavy, it will slide back, and it won't, because the locking system won't lock properly, and it won't go like fully into the ride. So
I see.
Yeah. Yo, you're 20 feet tall. That damn. Sorry. Yeah, 6'1". That's pretty tall in my opinion. For me, for a Chinese person, 5'11" is like unheard of. It's like, God damn, you go there. Like, I go to China. Like,
I didn't know you were that tall until you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Anthony, to answer Anthony, yeah, I'm from the Philippines. That's why I'm literally at the other side of the world. That's why my window's so bright. So now you know.
Yeah, he's in the Philippines. So like that's the reason why we chose this specific time slot. It's not too late for me, and it's not too early for Grae.
Yeah.
But Nebraska, because Jay/Drunk sent me. So I'm subscribed. What you got going tonight? What we got going tonight? We're going to be talking about The Last of Us stuff, Velma, some of the Hogwarts Legacy stuff, some Star Wars related stuff, and we're talking about the Universal ride stuff that's been happening right now. But thank you so much for subscribing. Definitely appreciate the support.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So are you Taylor Swift in her new video? I haven't seen any of like Taylor Swift's new stuff. I think the last music video I've seen of Taylor Swift was Shake It Off.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Taylor Swift fan, so I don't know what's her latest album or what's her latest single.
So I am guilty of something. I used to be a Taylor Swift fan.
I mean, it's fine.
Okay, I liked her first. I like her first album, which is very country, right? Like Teardrops on My Guitar. Yeah, her first album is really good because it's just about like country girl singing. The second one is sort of when her Fearless album is when she sort of became more mainstream. When she started like, I'm hearing her on the radio a lot more. And then you have the one after that. I think it's called the Red album. No, 1989. I forgot which one it was. I think that's the one. Shake It Off came out, and then she freaking blew up. Yeah, it's okay. Not a lot. Throwing up. Alan was like, ew. Taylor Swift, disgusting. I'm talking about the video Antihero. I haven't seen any of like the new music video stuff. Like I'm so out of the loop when it comes to music. I listen to a lot of old music now.
Like I listen to a lot of video game music. So yeah. I'm more out of touch probably. I'm really, really out of touch.
Like the stuff I've been listening to is like a bunch of 80s. And I've been listening to a bunch of Initial D music.
Yeah, we're probably on the same boat because I've been streaming Persona 3 on Twitch, so all my playlists, everything is Persona 3 because the soundtrack of that game is really, really good. It's that's why it's all Persona 3, so it's nothing mainstream, no vocals on it, just game background music. So I'm really out of touch when it comes to mainstream music.
Yeah, I can't wait for Hogwarts Legacy. Yes, I will be purchasing a deluxe copy of the game. And I will be giving, I believe, maybe between 2 and 3 copies out on Friday, because I believe the deluxe copy gives you 3 days early access, so you can play on Tuesday. Yeah, I can't wait for Hogwarts Legacy for sure.
Yeah, follow Phil on his Twitch.
Yeah, so this passenger restraint system is very, very important. It's because if someone gets hurt, then you could potentially sue the theme parks and stuff like that. And that leads me to this video right here. I want to see which one we can actually check out. Hopefully we don't get DMCA'd again. You're gonna get copyrighted again.
Yeah, if
All right.
if it's not 1 minute, probably it'll be fine.
It's
That's not it.
5 minutes. It's
Uh,
5 minutes.
Let's
All right.
let's just commentate in between.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and put the volume very, very low. Okay. So it's this one right here. It's one of the newer episodes, and so he wants to go to a theme park. He's like, oh my god, I want to go on this crazy ass theme park. Of course, it's I believe I forgot which one it's called. Yeah, he goes in a theme park. Okay, yeah. So he's like, oh, this is one of the newest rides that just came out.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah. I think there's no music. It should hopefully we don't
Yeah,
have
yeah,
it.
and there was the guy with the mask who wore a mask.
And one
I'm gonna
guy
fast forward right
there's
here.
a weight limit on this coaster. Oh,
Yeah, right here.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
You can't look hilarious on this motor scooter. I'm sorry, there's just no way.
Yeah, so and then there's a new ride that comes out that's called like the Holocaust. It's supposed to be like the craziest ride ever. So he's trying to like lose weight over here, it's not working. And then he's like, all right, cool. So I have this new
And
technique.
you haven't actually lost any weight. Oh, I think my live figure would suggest Eggroll is not a substitute for weight loss, Peter. Hey, I'm riding that roller coaster, and that's all there is to it. Now let's get out.
Yeah, so then they go. Yeah, go ahead.
I know Simpsons has a similar meme with Homer. Like,
Yeah.
there's the clip at his back so that he'll appear fit in front.
Yeah. It's like he's like tying his fat up behind him.
Yeah. It's all at the back.
Yeah.
Then when you look at the front, it looks
Yeah.
he looks fit
How about
because of
me,
that.
sir?
Yeah.
Am I too fat to ride? No, you don't seem to be.
Yeah, so like we're afraid that something like this might happen, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's go and fast forward here. Right, this is the scary part right here. Like, if this happens on a roller coaster, you guys are screwed, right? Lawsuits and stuff.
Well, this
Yeah,
has given
so-
me a lot to think about.
Yeah, so that's the reason why we want to make sure that it's not because we're like, oh, we don't like fat people. It's not that. It's for safety reasons, okay?
Yeah.
It's for safety reasons. But yeah, but let's see. Nothing but wonderful things to say about Super Nintendo World, except this: the body size limitations on Mario Kart ride are absolutely ridiculous. I've never had any issue fitting to any ride in my entire life, and I can barely fit into this one. Completely absurd. So, the thing is that not all rides are like created equal, right? There are rides that are more geared towards older people, like early teens, and then maybe like adolescents or kids, and then there are like rides that are geared towards like even like more adults, right? It's just like people who like if you go to Disneyland, you're gonna expect most of the rides to be catered towards kids. If you go to Universal Studios, it's about in between. And if you go to Six Flags, which is, I'm not sure if it's still open, Six Flags Magic Mountain, it's more geared towards teens to adults. It's because it's more considered more mature, right? It's more mature. So the thing is that like you're going to a park, you're going to be expecting some stuff, like you won't be able to ride on it, or you'll be uncomfortable riding on it and stuff like that. And speaking of something that happened at Six Flags, there's this ride called the Riddler's Revenge, and I think I was like 12 when I went on the ride, and I guess it's a standing ride, so you're supposed to get in, right? You're supposed to get in, and I'm not sure. I might have to show this on stream, but like once you get in, you sort of walk in. And then you're supposed to like there's this like the seats right over here. It sort of looks like a bike seat, and you're supposed to sit on it. Right? And there's this hydraulic system that sort of like locks you in place. So once you finish standing, it sort of just locks, and then you can't adjust the height anymore, right? What happened was I was a kid, and I was like, "Ooh, this thing is cool." And when I sort of bounced up, and it stopped me, and I was about a foot off, I was about an inch off the ground. So the only thing that was holding me in place was my nuts on that bike seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went through the ride, the entire Riddler's Revenge, with my nuts in pain the entire time. I was like, this is horrible. So that's the reason why like a lot of these things where like it's more for safety reasons. It's not because we're like trying to say that, oh, you're fat, lose weight or something like that. It's not that. It's more for safety concerns, and I think a lot of rides have it, but it's just this is like the new big thing, right? Nintendo, like Super Mario World, new Super Nintendo Land or whatever, is such a big thing that's coming out. I think there's a lot of people just getting mad is because they can't go on it.
Yeah, and I think they really should have considered that. In the US, it's people are really larger in size. They should have. I think they just underestimated the size in particular.
Yeah, but since if it did come directly from Japan, I do understand, right? Like that Japan is relatively fit, like they're a lot skinnier and leaner, and they're a lot smaller.
And it probably, even in the decision making process, it wasn't in their minds. It's like we're just trying to bring the exact same experience. They didn't. It wasn't really a thing for them. That's why it wasn't factored in.
Thanks for checking out this segment of the Project Eggroll podcast. If you like what we do here, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will know next time when we go live. We do go live every Saturday at 8 p.m. Once again, we are just getting started. Tons of more video to come. Thanks, and we'll see you guys next time.